Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. In front of me I have a bunch of Rimfire optics. You guys ask me the questions all the time. Hey, I bought the rifle, 22 rifle, the 17 HMR, the 22 mag, and what kind of optic should I put on it? Now, before I go any farther, I don't have a dog in the fight on this video, okay? All these scopes are mine. Some of them I have purchased, some of them companies have sent to me. So I want to be honest about anything and everything. I've got a Primary Arms right here in front of me. They sent me this particular optic about a year ago. Nikon, this particular one I bought about 3 years ago. Hawk, the people at Airgun Depot sent me this Hawk. This Vortex was sent to me by Optics Planet, and these 5 Bushnell Rimfire scopes on the end were sent to me by Bushnell. No, I didn't buy all of these. The only one that I really bought on top here was this Nikon, but I have used these scopes, and I'm not going to give you my favorite or anything like that because I really don't have a favorite, because each and every one of them can be used for a different application. But I'm going to be using Optics Planet's, I'm going to be using their price code, since I want to find one company that has all these prices in one place and carries all these scopes in one place. You know, I'm going to be using their price point, okay? They're not sponsoring this video or anything like that, but it's just easier to say, hey, you can pick this up, you know, for this price at Optics Planet, instead of, hey, Cabela sell it for this price, or Bass Pro Shop sells it for this price. It's just easier if I give you Optics Planet's price. It's easier for me to look up and everything else. I will put a link in the bottom of this video, so if you're curious of picking up any of these particular optics, you can. So, saying all that, now let's get into the review of all these optics. Okay, I'm going to be showing you some up-close B-roll of each and every one of these scopes. I know they're kind of far back from the camera and it's kind of hard to see the detail. But first, let's talk about this Primary Arms optic. This one right here. Primary Arms sent me this optic, I guess, a little bit over a year ago, and I have used it several times. I have not made a video with it, but I have put it on a couple of 1022s that I have, and it works extremely well. The great thing about this Primary Arms optic is the reticle. It is the ACCSS reticle that has built into this optic. And if you're the kind of person that likes to shoot targets, you know, from 100 yards in, this will be your optic. Now, can you use it for over 100 yards? Yes. But, you know, the good thing about this particular, optic that you can mount on any 22 rifle, or rimfire rifle for that matter, but it's really designed for the 22 long rifle caliber. It's a fixed 6 power, and with the reticle design, it is matched to be out of a 1022 using a 36 or a 40 grain CCI mini mag. So if you're using I think it may be a 36 grain mini mag, this reticle will match up perfect if you're using just a regular 1022. So if you want to impress your friends by getting on target out to 100 yards each and every time, this optic is the way to go. Now, there are some downfalls with this optic. The downfalls of this optic, it's only a fixed 6 power. So if you want to shoot out at like 200 yards, or if you're squirrel hunting or doing some small game hunting and you have to make a very precise precision shot, you're stuck with 6 power, and you're stuck with that, that dot right in the middle. So it's not like a crosshair that you can get a really fine bead on your target at long ranges. But for 95% of the applications, this scope will meet your needs, and this scope runs for about $119. Now, I will say one of the pros about this particular optic, it has very good eye relief, and the glass on this scope for 119 bucks, the glass is unbelievable. It's crystal clear. You can pick up on your target extremely well. So this, in my book, if you're looking for a small compact scope to put on a 1022 or any 22 long rifle, this is a very good choice. The next optic that we need to talk about really needs no introduction. This is the Nikon Rimfire series. This particular optic is mine. I bought this one a couple of years ago, and I believe it's been on one video. If you've watched the video, How Accurate is a 22 Long Rifle, where I was shooting plates out at 500 yards. Well, actually, when I played, it was a gong at 500 yards. I was using this particular optic. Now, They have the reticle system in there, the spot-on reticle system. It makes it very, very easy for you to take long ranges. Once you sight it in at a certain distance, the other reticles below it make it very easy for like 75, 100, 125 yards. You can pretty much set it up however you want to set it up. You just have to remember. Also, you have to remember what kind of bullet weight you're shooting, and also the speed of that bullet. It all makes a difference. But if you do your homework, you take a little bit of time with this particular optic, it does a great job. They also make, this particular one is a 3x9x40. Right now they're making the Rimfire 2, which I have heard, I haven't used it yet, but I have heard that it is actually a better optic than the Rimfire 1. And I'm a big fan of the Rimfire 1. I liked it so much I bought it with my own money, and I don't really get to shoot this scope that much because it sat on my CZ452 and I haven't shot that, particular rifle in probably about a year and a half. But it's a great scope. The glass is crystal clear. Compared to the primary arms, I get a little bit more color, and I don't get any better clarity, but I get a little bit better color with this Nikon than I do with the primary arms. And at Optics Planet, you can pick them up between $117 and $140, which is a really, really, really good deal for the scope that you're getting. They're waterproof, shockproof, and I have never really had any issues with my Nikon Rimfire series scope. The next optic that we need to talk about was an optic that I was introduced to probably about 6 months ago. And this Hawk is not really a Rimfire scope, but for the price point, I have to mention it. Now, this is a 4x16x50 Vantage Hawk. Now, there are some awesome features with this particular scope. Now, let's talk about those features. The features that you get with the Hawk Vantage is pretty good for the price that you'll be paying for it. One, you get all the way up to a 16 power magnification. You get your rear objective focus, and the illuminated reticles, the red or green, which are really good. I've used this scope on several air guns and also on several rimfires. It tracks very well, and one of the cool features about this particular optic is that it has 80 MOA worth of adjustments in it. So if you want to shoot a target at a longer range, you can dial in those clicks and you'll be able to get on target. Most of all these scopes that you see here have 50 MOA worth of adjustments in them. Not all of them, but most of them do. This one with 80, it makes long range shooting a whole lot better. You don't have to use the Kentucky windage. Now, the glass is spot on. The glass is some of the clearest glass for this price range scope I have ever looked through in my life. And it's a very good scope. Like I said, it tracks very well, and I highly recommend the Hawk optic. I've got 5 or 6 of them at this point, and they're all being used right now on some form of rimfire rifle that I use. I also have turrets that you can buy with them for the 22 long rifle, the 17 HMR, and also the 22 Magnum. All right, I couldn't make a scope video without mentioning Vortex. Vortex is one of my favorite scopes to use. Not only do I like Vortex optics, but as a company, they stand behind their product, which is super important to me. The big appealing thing for Vortex is they make unbelievable clear optics. The glass is crystal clear, and they have a lifetime warranty, no fault warranty. Meaning, if you lean your rifle up beside your truck and you take off and you run over it and you smash this scope all to pieces, guess what? You send it in, they'll either repair it or replace it for free. And it's also transferable, meaning that if you sell this scope to somebody else and 10 years down the road, it stops tracking or it stops messing up or the glass gets broken, guess what? They're going to replace it for free, which a company that stands behind their product is A1. Vortex has always stood behind their products, and I like that. But let's talk about the Crossfire 2. Now, this particular scope doesn't have any bells and whistles. It's just a 4x12x40, and it does have adjustable focus on the rear objective here. And it is one of the clearest out of the batch. Glass is very, very, very important to me because I consider myself a precision shooter, and if I can't see the target, it's kind of hard to hit the target, especially if you're hunting in low light situations and you want to put this on a hunting rifle. It will do very well. This scope, Crossfire 2, is not necessarily a rimfire scope, but for the price point of $177, you can't go wrong putting this on any rimfire rifle that you own. Last but not least, let's talk about these last 5 scopes that are on the table. These are the Bushnell Rimfire series. I have used these scopes a lot on several of the rimfire setups. I'm fixing to actually make a couple Savage rimfire videos with these particular optics on it. The A22, which they have a scope specially designed for the A22, and also the A22 Magnum. One of them I'm going to be reviewing is the long rifle, and the other one will be the Magnum. But these scopes, for the price point, you can't go wrong. They start off, I think, at about $79 and go to like $149 at Optics Planet. And it's amazing with the features that you can get with them. All but one of them have side focus. They all come with different turrets for 22 LR or 17 HMR. So they come with the replaceable turrets, so it makes it very easy. All the turrets are exposed, so if you want to do, if you're a target shooter, that's good. And they're kind of, you know, they're not very easy to click, and that's pretty good. That way you don't snag them. They got snag-proof turrets on them, so you're not snagging against things and knocking your point of aim off. But the glass on them are crystal clear. Very, very good glass. I'm going to be showing you some B-roll of a hunt that I did, squirrel hunt with one. Under low light situations, they do amazingly well. And they will range between, you know, you have a 3x9x40 here. There's a 3.5x10. There is a, this is a 3x18, excuse me, a 6x18 with side focus, and a 3x9x40. You know, there are a lot of different options, and depending if you want to spend that extra $20, $30, you can get the higher objective. Now, that all of them does have, besides one, like I mentioned, the side focus, which comes in very, very handy. And, you know, the reticle systems, all the ones that I've used before have also done extremely well of tracking, and also with my holdover when I need to use it at longer ranges. Now also, like the Vortex, the Bushnell also has the lifetime warranty, meaning if you damage the scope, mess this scope up for any reason, they will replace it for free. And for the price point, you can't go wrong with any of these last 5 scopes. I have been thoroughly pleased with the Bushnell Rimfire series, and I've been pleased with all of these optics in front of me. And I know I kind of went over a bunch. I didn't do like a detailed review on each and every scope. I just wanted to give you guys an opinion, or my opinion, and you know how opinions are, of different rimfire scopes that are out there on the market. Hopefully I've made your choice a little bit easier, but any of these optics that you see on this table with the Bushnell, the Vortex, the Hawk, the Nikon, or the primary arms, you know, I would recommend them. I've used them. I've used them personally. I've used some of them for 3 or 4 years. And depending on what you want to do, whether you want to do target shooting, you know, this Hawk is great for that. It's a little heavy to be hunting with. You can do it, but you know, if you want to do target shooting at longer ranges, this Hawk would do very, very well. If you just want to shoot still up close, or take it hunting at, you know, at closer targets between, you know, 75 yards and in, this primary arms will do it. Nikon is a great target or a great hunting scope, and this Bushnell, they can speak for themselves. You know, you can buy one for hunting, you can buy one for plinking, and you can also buy one for target shooting. You really can't go wrong. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about these particular optics, feel free to put them in the comments below, or go over to my Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter and ask them there. And remember, until next time, y'all be safe and keep plinking.